Hey guys, this is Jaime Rivera, and this is the first video of the Java beginner tutorials. Now, hopefully you're new to Java and you just want to learn about how to make a program. Now, first thing we need to do is set up an IDE. Now, what an IDE is it's basically a tool where you can simply organize all of your files, all of your projects and resources, and be able to easily compile and run them. Some people think they're a bit heavy to use, and heavy being, using too many resources, but for learning, they're actually a pretty good thing. So, what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to new workspace, or for Mac users, and we're going to go ahead and open our browser and go to this link, www.eclipse.org/downloads. Now, once you're on this page, you should see all these options like I have. The one I suggest to actually download is this Eclipse Classic 4.2.1. It's 182 megabytes. That's why some people say it's a bit heavy. If you download this one, you should know or try to find out if you have a 32-bit or 64-bit computer. I will leave that up to you to decide. Actually, you must figure that out. Now, once you do so and you've downloaded it, I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to Eclipse. Now, once you open Eclipse, you should see a few things. The first thing will not be this project folder, this entire workspace. You will have some information about setting up a file for your workspace. Go ahead and just do the default and hit OK. Once you load that in, you will have a new page and you'll have this welcome page. You can go ahead and exit out of that too, and you'll be put right onto the same page as I am. Now, once you're here, there are a few things you want to do. The first we got to do is create a new project. So let's go ahead and go over to File, New, and Java Project. Once we open this, we can go ahead and disregard this information over here. It's a bit more specific than we need it to be, and all we want to do is give it a project name. So put in whatever you like. I'm going to go ahead and put in Tutorial 1 and finish. So Tutorial 1. Whenever you create a Java project in Eclipse, it automatically creates a source folder and a bin folder. You can't see the bin folder here, but don't worry, it's there. Now, you have this other thing called Jre System Library. It's basically everything you're going to be using in your Java programs. It's like the preset stuff you can use. We'll look deep into that later. So the first thing we have is our source folder. So in this source folder, we want to make a program. So to do that, we have to make a class. So there's two things we can go about doing that. We can go to File, New, and Class. And it's the same thing to do the shortcut and just hit Class. So create a new Java class. We can see that the source folder is in the correct place, tutorial1/source, and we need to give it a name. So for this one, I'm going to name it Program. Alright, so it gave us some information here, and we may not know what it already is. So I'm going to explain that after we write the program. So what we need to do now is write the main method that's going to say hello world. That's our program today. Simple enough, we're going to say hello world. So go ahead and type in public static void main and give it an array of arguments as a parameter. So this is called a method declaration, and these parentheses, you can put in parameters. There's things that are things you give to the method to use for reference. So what we're going to do now is inside this method that's encapsulated by these braces, we're going to say system.out.println for print line, and in parentheses, go ahead and hit parentheses, and then, or not parentheses, I'm sorry, quotations. In quotations, we're going to go ahead and type in hello world. Be a bit enthusiastic about it too. So we end all of our statements with a semicolon, and there we go. So what does this do? I'm going to run through this real quick. So you can go up to this play button. It's called Run Program, and when I click it, it opens up this new tab down here called Console, and it says Hello World. Now, let me go ahead and explain all of this. Whenever we open this project, we have some information called Public Class Program. This is called the class declaration. So this class declaration, we say that this has a public access level, it's going to be a class, and we're naming it program. Just to be careful, if your program won't work, be sure that this right here, program, capital P, is the same as program.java. Everything in the source file that has .java will be a class or something else, maybe like an interface or more complicated things we can talk about later. So we have our class, and it's held within this default package. So in Java, there's a hierarchy of things. We have packages, and packages can contain classes, and classes can contain methods and constructors and other classes. And we'll go all into that as we delve deeper into the programs. So this is our class declaration. Now inside of our classes, we have this main method called public static void main. This is a method that will run on its own. The reason for that is because in Java, it's integrated that public static void main is a standalone application. What this means is that when you run it, this will always run. So public means that it's publicly accessible to anything outside of this class. Static means that it's relative to this class. Void means it has nothing to return. All it's going to do is use the resources, perform an operation, and return nothing. Main is the name of our method, so we have to have it to be lowercase main for this to work. And we have a string, which we'll go into later, and arguments. And these two brackets here represent an array. And this is also enclosed by the brackets. Now we here have system.out.println hello world. So this is calling system, getting the output, and then printing a new line of the string hello world. This is how it all works. I hope you go to the next video so we can learn about more things we can do. Thanks.